I must say that we are really starting off 2022 just on fire with these acquisitions. First, we had Take-Two with Zynga. That was pretty shocking in its own right, but quickly afterwards, well, Xbox bought Activision Blizzard, and now Sony has bought a company that used to be under Activision Blizzard for some time with the Destiny franchise, Bungie. Sony has, I guess you could say, answered Xbox's acquisition of Activision Blizzard with buying Bungie for $3.6 billion. And I will just say for now, I do not think either company is done, Xbox or Sony. There's been rumors that Sony could be going for Square Enix or Capcom or any of these other companies. And then there's been rumors with Xbox with Ubisoft and Sega. So who knows what's next, but so far 2022 just unbelievable with these acquisitions. And I will say this one is a strange one, not one that I had thought was going to happen. It's definitely very interesting, but we have now already gotten some really interesting details about how this deal is going down, the future of Destiny as a franchise, and yes, it is going to be remaining multi-platform. We have a Q&A session from some of the Destiny team, but here we have this GamesIndustry.biz article saying Sony today announced a deal to acquire Bungie for $3.6 billion. After the deal closes, Bungie will be an independent subsidiary, which is different because they won't be under PlayStation Studios, of SIE, run by a board of directors consisting of current CEO and chairman Pete Parsons and the rest of the studio's current management team. So I guess in some way maybe similar to what Xbox is doing with Bethesda and Activision, they're letting them go do their own complete thing, letting them have their own creative freedom, but technically still being under that umbrella. Sony has said Bungie will remain a multi-platform studio with the option to self-publish and reach players wherever they choose to play. At present, the studio is working on maintaining Destiny 2, expanding the Destiny franchise, and working on a new IP. And then we have an official letter coming from Jim Ryan over the PlayStation CEO. He said, "Today I'm happy to announce Bungie will be joining the PlayStation family. First off, I want to be very clear to the community that Bungie will remain an independent and multi-platform studio and publisher." And I'm going to say the same thing I said when Phil Spencer said that with Call of Duty. We'll see about that in a couple of years. As such, we believe it makes sense for it to sit alongside the PlayStation Studios organization. We are incredibly excited about the opportunities for synergies and collaboration between these two world-class groups. I have spent a lot of time with Pete Parsons, Jason Jones, and the Bungie management team to develop the right relationships where they will be fully backed and supported by Sony and enabled to do what they do best, build incredible worlds that captivate millions of people. Bungie's world-class expertise in multi-platform development and live game services, which is something Sony definitely has been wanting to get into for a while, will help us deliver on our vision of expanding PlayStation to hundreds of millions of gamers. There it is. Bungie is a great innovator and has developed incredible proprietary tools that will help PlayStation Studios achieve new heights under Hermen Hulst's leadership. And here are some words from Hermen Hulst about the acquisition. "I am absolutely thrilled to announce a new member will be joining the PlayStation family. I've been a fan of Bungie for many years. I have admired and enjoyed the games that they create and have great respect for their skill in building worlds that gamers want to explore again and again. Bungie makes games with outstanding technology that are enormously fun to play. They also have unmatched dedication to the communities that play their games, and everyone at PlayStation and PlayStation Studios will be excited about what we can share and learn from them. I've spent a great deal of time with the senior team at Bungie, and it is clear their experience and skills are highly complementary to our own. We'll be ready to welcome and support Bungie as they continue to grow, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for this incredible team." And then we have the CEO of Bungie, Pete Parsons, saying, "We believe games have limitless potential, and that to do anything worthwhile in entertainment, we must bet big on our vision, on our studio, and on our incredible team of trusted creators who build unforgettable worlds that truly matter to people. In Sony, we have found a partner who unconditionally supports us in all we are and who wants to accelerate our vision to create generation-spanning entertainment, all while preserving the creative independence that beats in Bungie's heart." For now, I guess. Like us, Sony believes that game worlds are only the beginning of what our IPs can become. Together, we share a dream of creating and fostering iconic franchises that unite friends around the world, families across generations, and fans across multi-platforms and entertainment mediums. Today, Bungie begins our journey to become a global multimedia entertainment company. And then creative freedom. They have like these little pillars with this this blog post. Since taking flight in 1991, Bungie has always charted the future with our own star map, a path that is driven by our people and for our community. We are continuing that journey with new worlds in development, and we can't wait to share them with you. With Sony, the potential for our universe is unlimited. Our future games will be taking bold steps into unexplored spaces for Bungie, continue to push the boundaries of what is possible, and will always be built on a foundation of creating meaningful, lifelong friendships and memories. If we remain in charge of our destiny, we will continue to independently publish and creatively develop our games, which, like I said, this is different from all of the acquisitions we've seen in the past from Sony, whether that be Bluepoint, Insomniac, etc., etc. We will continue to drive one unified Bungie community. Our games will continue to be where our community is, wherever they choose to play. With Sony's support, the most immediate change you will see is an acceleration in hiring talent across the entire studio to support our ambitious vision. If this speaks to you and you want to help, and yeah, they're hiring right now. And then the final part of this statement, 3 decades and counting, what makes our worlds come to life is our community and people in the studio. Our people are the soul of Bungie, empowered by people. We have pushed the boundaries of what we thought was possible and transformed who we are as a company, blah, 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 blah. More than anything, Sony understands that our people and our community are both a priority and the heart of the success, and are willing to stand alongside us as we continue to use our platform to drive action towards a more welcoming and equitable world. Our goal is to build a place where the world's most creative and talented people can come and do their best work, no matter who they are, where they are from, and how they identify. That's the real dent in the universe we want to make, the one we want to last beyond us. We be part of the future with us. See you, Starside Pete. So that is the statements coming from the heads of PlayStation and Bungie. Obviously some excitement about what this deal will mean for the future of Bungie, with them continuing to grow. And as most of you know, they are going to be investing into a new IP that we don't know anything really about yet, but I can almost guarantee, maybe not guarantee, but I do have questions about exclusivity. That's the same thing I had when Xbox bought Activision with Call of Duty. I really do think that this is obviously an arms race that we're seeing happening right now, but it's going to be interesting to see how these companies navigate these franchises and these companies that are now under them. So let's just say in a couple of years, once the Call of Duty and PlayStation deal goes away, is there going to be exclusivity brought to some of the Call of Duty games in the future? And how would Sony react? Do they make Destiny 3 or whatever else comes in the future an exclusive? Because that is something that will be in Sony's power. So right now you obviously hear different things. You hear Xbox's Phil Spencer saying no exclusivity, but I don't buy that in the future. Same thing goes now here with Bungie and Sony pretty much saying no, everything's going to remain the same. We just bought one of the biggest FPS franchises, and yeah, this definitely looks like an arms race, and I still think more acquisitions are to come probably this year. Now, we did get a frequently asked questions section on Bungie's website from Joe Blackburn and Justin Truman, some of the leaders over on Destiny 2 and Bungie. So one of the big questions as a Destiny 2 player, does Bungie become part of PlayStation have any immediate impact on how I play and experience Destiny 2? No, our commitment to Destiny 2 as a multi-platform game with full cross-play remains unchanged. We want you to play the Witch Queen on February 22nd, 2022 on the platform of your choice. Will the Destiny 2 experience on non-PlayStation platforms be impacted? No, we want to maintain the same great experience. Will any announced seasons, events, packs, or expansions be changed or impacted by Bungie becoming part of PlayStation? No. Bungie retains full creative independence for our games and our community. We'll see how that goes. Will Destiny 2 The Witch Queen include any platform exclusives? No. You pretty much get the gist of how this is going. I play Destiny on Steam, Xbox, or Stadia. Will my platform still be supported? Yes. And ultimately, this is just in regards to Destiny 2. The things are going to remain the same, but as, you know, things change in the future, who knows what will happen. Now, we did get some immediate reactions I thought I'd go over. Alana Pierce, she's a video game writer at Sony Santa Monica, also a former journalist. She said, since I'm seeing a lot of folks saying it, I don't see a world in which Sony acquiring Bungie is a response to Microsoft and Activision Blizzard. These deals take months, even years to put together and finalize, not 2 weeks. And I kind of agree and disagree with this. I think after Xbox purchased Activision Blizzard, I think it definitely put more of an incentive to get this deal done. And then we have Jeff Grubb revealing that we heard a couple of weeks ago that Microsoft was in talks with Bungie, but talk is cheap. And I guess maybe Sony was willing to pay more money for what they thought Destiny or Bungie was worth. Very interesting. Daniel Mod saying Sony has often talked about free-to-play games as a service and multi-platform experiences being a significant growth driver for PlayStation. Bungie equals 800 plus staff, which will continue to grow with free-to-play games as a service experience, popular Destiny IP plus new IPs in development, multi-platform experience, and approach, which is all reasons why Sony definitely went out and purchased this company. And then we also have Jeff Grubb again saying Destiny is Phil Spencer's favorite game, which now it's under PlayStation's control, I suppose. Patrick Klepek saying, odd, my read, this is a very long-term investment. Everything Destiny will remain multi-platform. The new IP, though, is probably Sony first, with an eye towards the broader cloud/PC expansion that Sony is already playing with. I should be more specific. Everything that's in the Destiny 2 umbrella will remain multi-platform. If they do a Destiny 3, all bets are off, and that's something that I completely agree with as well. Bloomberg's Jason Schreier writes, in 2007, when Bungie spun out from Microsoft, they had an all-hands meeting and popped champagne. In 2019, when Bungie split with Activision, and remember took the Destiny franchise with them, they had an all-hands meeting and popped champagne. Today they're all remote and heard the Sony news on a Teams call. And then we had some further details coming from Christopher Dring of GamesIndustry.biz saying, the motivation behind Sony's acquisition of Bungie is to help boost their own abilities to make live service multi-platform games. Equally, Sony unlocks the potential to Bungie to strengthen its technical capabilities and the prospect of taking its games to movies/TV. The deal was in works for the past 5 to 6 months. It's not a reaction of the Take-Two Zynga or Microsoft Activision deals, although as I pointed out, I still think there was an incentive to get this deal done, especially following the news that just happened a couple weeks ago. And then Christopher Dring finalizes his thoughts saying, and Jim Ryan told me we should expect more when it comes to further PlayStation acquisitions. Like I said, this is just the beginning. We're going to see more from both Xbox and Sony with acquisitions. Sony's been pretty busy the last couple of years, getting some really big hot studios, Insomniac, Bluepoint, and now Bungie. Xbox obviously going after Bethesda and Activision Blizzard. Yes, they have spent a little bit more money because they are a bigger company, but Sony still has a couple dozen billions of dollars that they can spend on acquisitions, something that they can go after the likes of Ubisoft, Square Enix, Sega, Capcom, Bandai Namco. There's a lot of companies they could go after. I don't think we're going to see them going after the likes of Take-Two Interactive or Electronic Arts, as some people have insinuated, but still, this is far from over, and this is going to be a story the next couple of years within gaming. It's consolidation. This is the reality that we are living in right now. Ultimately, though, these deals are not finalized. Xbox's deal with Activision Blizzard probably won't be done until sometime next year. Same will go with this Bungie deal. And there is still some scrutiny coming from lawmakers, especially in the United States. We had one U.S. congressman, Representative Jerry Nadler. He took to Twitter when the Xbox Activision Blizzard deal was announced, saying Activision Blizzard, already a gaming giant, has a pattern of bullying workers to evade accountability for rampant misconduct. I expect this deal to be closely scrutinized to ensure that it won't harm American workers or competition. So there's definitely a lot of, let's just say, obstacles to come for these deals, especially the Xbox Activision one, because again, that's $70 billion, one of the biggest in entertainment history. And it is worth mentioning that currently Jerry Nadler is the chair of the House Judiciary Committee. We've heard for the last couple of years multiple US lawmakers talking about wanting to take control of big tech. This is something that some analysts have brought up as well, which is why they think there's going to be scrutiny for Activision Blizzard and Xbox's deal. So that'll be something definitely to keep an eye out for. As far as I understand, from everybody's perspective, that deal is going to get done, and I'm sure this Bungie deal will get done at the end, but still obstacles to come, things to watch out for, and these deals are not done at all. Lots of paperwork, and this is again going to be taking probably a year plus for these deals to get fully completed, but still, what a day it has been. Sony has purchased Bungie, and it definitely seems like Xbox and Sony are not done. And this is the consolidation war that we are seeing, the arms race that is going on in the gaming space, and be very interesting to see if anybody else jumps into this. You know, maybe Facebook, Apple, Amazon. I still think that we could be seeing some of these bigger, giant mega corporations jumping into the fold very, very soon. Anyway, again, another historic day in video games. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, but thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or if you found any informative value. And make sure to follow my other social media accounts for updates on new videos. Links are always down in the description below. I'm most active on Twitter, giving opinions on news that I do not always get into video form, so do make sure to follow me over there. Also check out my Discord for all sorts of discussion on games. And again, thank you for joining. Consider subscribing for more videos like this, I'll see you later.